Olivia Mason floated in her escape pod. The small metal container spun slowly through empty space. Red emergency lights flashed on and off. A warning sound beeped as oxygen levels dropped lower and lower. Outside the tiny window, Olivia could see nothing but stars and darkness. The battle was over. Her ship was gone. Her friends were either dead or lost across 3 star systems. The Voidborn Armada had attacked without mercy, and the Human Alliance fleet had lost badly. Olivia checked her oxygen meter again. 6 hours left. Not enough time for anyone to find her. She closed her eyes and tried to accept her fate. After 8 years as a soldier, she would die alone in space. A sudden jolt made her eyes snap open. The pod stopped spinning. Something had caught it. Through the small window, Olivia saw a massive ship, unlike any Alliance vessel she knew. It was smooth and curved with no sharp edges. It glowed with a faint purple light. "Unknown vessel detected," said the pod's computer. Being pulled into larger craft, Olivia grabbed her blaster pistol. If the enemy had found her, she would not go quietly. The pod shook as it was pulled into what must be a hangar bay. With a hiss, it came to rest on a solid surface. The door of the pod opened slowly. Olivia held her weapon ready. She expected to see enemy soldiers waiting to capture her. Instead, she saw only one figure. The alien stood tall and slender, almost 7 feet in height. Her skin shifted colors from deep purple to bright blue like oil on water. Her eyes were pure silver with no pupils or whites. Most striking was the crown of crystal-like structures growing from her head. These crystals pulsed with inner light, changing from blue to purple and back again. "You are human," the alien said. Her voice sounded like music, but sad music. "Your kind took something precious from me. Now you will help me recover it." Olivia kept her weapon pointed at the alien. "Who are you? Where am I?" "I am Sovereign Nyara of the Lumidian Collective," the alien said. "This is my vessel, the Stellar Lament. Lower your weapon. If I wished you harm, you would already be dead." Something in the alien's voice made Olivia believe her. Slowly she lowered her blaster but kept it in her hand. "Why would I help you?" Olivia asked. "We're at war with your kind." Nyara made a gesture with her long fingers. A hologram appeared between them. It showed a small child, maybe 5 years old. The child looked almost human but had skin with a light purple tint. The child's eyes were silver mirrors just like Nyara's. "This is my daughter," Nyara said, her voice breaking slightly. "She was taken during a human science mission to our world. For 10 cycles, what you would call years, I have searched. My people believe she is dead. I do not." Olivia studied the image carefully. Human scientists took an alien child? That doesn't make sense. The Alliance wouldn't start a war based on lies, Nyara interrupted. Wouldn't steal a child for her special abilities? Are you so sure? Olivia wasn't sure. The war with the Lumidians had started suddenly, right after first contact. The official story was that the aliens had attacked without warning. But Olivia had been a soldier long enough to know that official stories weren't always true. "Your escape pod was failing," Nyara continued. "I saved your life. In return, I ask for your help. You know human military systems. You can help me find my daughter." "Even if I wanted to help," Olivia said, "why would you trust me? I'm Alliance military. Your enemy." Nyara's silver eyes seemed to look through Olivia rather than at her. "Because the dreams told me it would be you." "Dreams?" Olivia asked. "My people have connections to what you might call the subconscious universe. When we sleep, we sometimes see truth. For years I have dreamed of a human female soldier who would help me find my child. When we detected your pod, I knew the dreams were real." Olivia didn't know what to say. None of this made sense. And yet, the pain in Nyara's voice when she spoke of her missing daughter seemed genuine. "If what you say is true," Olivia said carefully, "helping you would make me a traitor to the Alliance." "If what I say is true," Nyara replied, "your Alliance betrayed humanity's principles first." Before Olivia could answer, another alien entered the hangar. This one was shorter than Nyara, with metallic scales covering half her face. She wore what looked like armor, and her expression was clearly hostile. "Sovereign," the newcomer said, bowing slightly to Nyara. "The human fleet is searching this sector. We should leave immediately." Nyara nodded. "Prepare the ship for departure, Kalari." She turned back to Olivia. "This is my first officer. She does not share my belief that a human can be trusted." Kalari glared at Olivia before leaving the hangar. "Your crew seems to agree with her," Olivia observed, noticing other aliens watching from doorways. their expressions suspicious or openly hostile. They have suffered in this war, Nyara said simply. Many have lost family, but they follow my orders. Olivia felt the subtle vibration as the ship began to move. She was on an alien vessel, surrounded by enemies being taken who knew where. Yet something about Nyara's story bothered her. The timing of the war, the missing child, the official stories that never quite explained why the fighting had started. If I help you, Olivia said finally, I need to know everything. No more mysteries or talk of dreams. I need facts. For the first time, Nyara's expression changed to something like hope. Come, she said, gesturing for Olivia to follow. I will show you what humans did to my people. Then you can decide if your loyalty belongs to the Alliance or to the truth. Olivia holstered her weapon and followed the alien queen deeper into the ship. With each step, she felt like she was leaving her old life behind. She didn't know if she was making a terrible mistake or doing the right thing. But she did know one thing. She wanted to hear Nyara's story. The stellar lament accelerated away from the battle zone, carrying them both into the unknown. Olivia followed Nyara through the curved hallways of the stellar lament. The ship was unlike any human vessel she had ever seen. The walls seemed alive, pulsing with soft light. The floor felt slightly springy under her boots. There were no sharp corners anywhere. This isn't a warship, Olivia realized as they walked. No, Nyara agreed. The stellar lament is a royal transport. I repurposed it for my search when the Collective Council refused to help me find my daughter. You went against your own government? Olivia asked, surprised. I am a mother first, a queen second, Nyara said simply. They entered a large room with a circular table in the center. Above the table, stars and planets floated in a three-dimensional map. Olivia recognized the layout of Alliance space. My ship can hide from your sensors, Nyara explained, but we lack the weapons to fight if discovered. That is why I need your help to enter Alliance territory undetected. First Officer Kalari was waiting for them, along with 3 other Lumidians. None looked happy to see Olivia. Sovereign, Kalari said, her voice tight with anger. Are you certain this is wise? Humans cannot be trusted. If the Sovereign were not convinced of her visions, you would already be space debris. Kalari told Olivia directly. Humans attacked our sanctuary worlds without provocation. Why should we believe you'll help return our princess? I haven't agreed to help yet, Olivia replied calmly. I'm still waiting to hear the full story. Nyara gestured to the star map. This is where we first met humans, she said, pointing to a small star system. We have observed your species for centuries. When you achieved faster-than-light travel, we decided to welcome you as equals. That's not how the Alliance tells it, Olivia said. We're told you attacked our first contact ships without warning. Nyara's eyes flashed. A lie. We invited a delegation of scientists to our sanctuary world as a gesture of friendship. They expressed interest in our ability to manipulate quantum energies, a natural gift of our species. My daughter Lyra was born with especially strong abilities. The scientists asked to study her. We allowed simple, non-invasive tests. Nyara's voice grew harder. The next day, Lyra vanished. When we demanded her return, your leaders denied any knowledge. Within weeks, Alliance ships attacked our borders. The war began. Olivia shook her head. That can't be right. The Alliance wouldn't kidnap a child. Access your military records, Nyara challenged. See for yourself. Kalari brought a small device to the table. This terminal is connected to your Alliance networks. Your codes should still work. Suspicion flared in Olivia. How did you get access to Alliance networks? We have our methods, Kalari said with a cold smile. Your security is not as strong as you believe. Olivia hesitated, then entered her military credentials. To her surprise, the system accepted them. She searched the classified archives for information about first contact with the Lumidians. The official reports matched what she had always been told. Unprovoked alien aggression. But deeper in the files, she found something labeled Project Starlight, with a top-secret classification. The project's start date matched exactly with Lyra's disappearance. Olivia skimmed the file contents. Her stomach turned as she read. Project Starlight was a military research program focused on quantum energy weaponization. It mentioned acquiring a specimen with natural manipulation abilities for study. This doesn't prove they took your daughter, Olivia said. But her voice lacked conviction. Where do you think they would keep such a specimen? Nyara asked quietly. Olivia thought for a moment. If this is real, they'd keep her at one of the secure research facilities. Probably off Earth. She scrolled through more files. Here, Europa Research Station. It's built under the ice of Jupiter's moon. Then that is where we will go, Nyara declared. Wait, Olivia said. If I help you reach Europa, I'm betraying the Alliance. Are you loyal to the Alliance or to what the Alliance should stand for? Nyara asked. If your leaders stole a child and started a war to cover their actions, what do you really owe them? Olivia had no answer. She had joined the military to protect humanity, not to defend lies and kidnapping. But what if Nyara was manipulating her? I need time to think, she said finally. We do not have much time, Kalari warned. The longer we remain in this sector, the greater our risk of detection. Give her the time she needs, Nyara ordered. She turned to Olivia. I will show you to quarters where you can rest. Consider what you've learned. When you're ready, we will talk again. A young Lumidian led Olivia to a small but comfortable room. The door closed behind her but did not lock. Either they trusted her not to cause trouble, or they were confident she couldn't escape. Alone, Olivia sat on the strange, form-fitting bed and tried to make sense of everything. Could the Alliance really have stolen a child? Started a war based on lies? The evidence pointed that way, but it was hard to accept. She thought about her fellow soldiers who had died in the war. Had they given their lives for a lie? The idea made her sick. After a few hours of troubled thoughts, Olivia made her decision. She left her room and found her way back to the command center. Nyara was there studying the star map alone. If I help you, Olivia said, I need assurances. No harm comes to innocent humans, and if we find your daughter, you push for peace talks, not revenge. Nyara's silver eyes met hers. My only desire is to find my child and end this pointless war. You have my word. Then I'll help you get to Europa, Olivia said. But we'll need a plan. The research station will be heavily guarded. We will make a plan, Nyara agreed. Together. As if on cue, the ship shuddered slightly. Kalari rushed into the room. Sovereign, we've detected unusual energy readings from your escape pod. I fear the human may have... My emergency beacon, Olivia realized with horror. I never turned it off. The Alliance has been tracking us this whole time. Kalari's face hardened with anger. Betrayal, as I predicted. No, Olivia protested. I didn't know. I swear. Before anyone could say more, the ship rocked violently. Alarm sounds filled the air. Alliance vessels detected, announced a voice over the speakers. Multiple warships on approach vector. They found us, Kalari said grimly. Nyara remained calm. Activate defensive measures. Prepare for immediate jump. She turned to Olivia, her silver eyes searching. Was this your plan all along? No, Olivia said firmly. I didn't betray you. But now you need me more than ever. Your ship can't fight its way through an Alliance blockade. But I know Alliance tactics and codes. I can help you reach Europa if you still trust me. For a long moment, Nyara studied her. Another impact rocked the ship. Shield integrity at 70%, reported a crew member. I believe you, Nyara said finally. Now prove I was right to trust a human. Help us save my daughter. Olivia nodded and moved to a control station. Let me see what we're dealing with. The view screen showed 5 Alliance warships moving to surround them. More would be on the way. I hope your ship is as fast as it is beautiful, Olivia said grimly, because we're going to need every advantage to get through this blockade. Nyara stood tall, her crystal crown glowing brightly. The stellar lament has many secrets yet. For my daughter's sake, we will prevail. As the Alliance ships closed in, Olivia felt a strange sense of clarity. For the first time since the war began, she knew exactly which side she was on. The side of truth. The stellar lament shook as another blast hit its shields. 5 Alliance warships surrounded them, firing continuously. Olivia gripped the edge of the control panel to keep her balance. Shields at 40%, a Lumidian crew member reported. We cannot withstand this assault much longer. Kalari turned to Nyara. Sovereign, we must retreat. We cannot reach the human territories now. No, Nyara said firmly. We have never been this close to finding Lyra. I will not turn back. Olivia studied the tactical display. The Alliance ships were arranged in a standard containment pattern, designed to prevent escape. There might be a way through, she said. Alliance Protocol 7B leaves a gap in the defensive formation for emergency medical vessels. If we can send the right codes, they'll think we're a medical ship for about 30 seconds before they realize the trick. Will that be enough time? Nyara asked. It has to be, Olivia replied. She began typing rapidly on the alien console, which had been modified to accept human inputs. I'm sending the medical clearance codes now. When I give the signal, take us through the gap between those two ships at maximum speed. The Lumidian pilot nodded. Everyone waited in tense silence. Now, Olivia shouted as the Alliance ships adjusted their positions slightly. The stellar lament surged forward with surprising speed. They slipped through the gap in the Alliance formation before the human ships could react. Weapon fire chased them, but they were already accelerating to light speed. They will pursue, Kalari warned. Yes, but we've bought time, Olivia said. We need to use it well. Over the next days, as they traveled toward Jupiter and its moon Europa, Olivia learned more about the Lumidians. Nyara showed her the ship's library, which contained thousands of years of Lumidian history and culture. My people were traveling between stars when humans were still figuring out how to make fire, Nyara explained without pride. Simply stating facts. We have visited thousands of worlds but chosen to settle only a few. Why so few? Olivia asked. We prefer to observe rather than interfere, Nyara said, and we do not need many resources to sustain our civilization. We learned long ago how to live in balance with our environments. The library showed Olivia images of Lumidian worlds, beautiful places with glowing cities that seemed to grow from the natural landscape rather than replace it. Their technology was advanced far beyond humanity's, yet they had chosen to live simply. If you're so advanced, why haven't you conquered the galaxy? Olivia asked. Nyara looked puzzled. Why would we want to? There is no wisdom in conquest, only in understanding. In a private moment, Kalari approached Olivia as she studied Lumidian star charts. You should know that many of us still do not trust you, the first officer said bluntly. I'd be disappointed if you did trust me so easily, Olivia replied. In your position, I wouldn't trust me either. This seemed to surprise Kalari. At least you are honest. The Sovereign believes her dreams, but I believe in evidence. So far you have helped us. If that changes, she left the threat unspoken. I understand, Olivia said. But you should know that I'm as shocked as you are about what my people apparently did. Stealing a child, that's not what the Alliance is supposed to stand for. Perhaps not, Kalari conceded. But it is what they did. As they neared Jupiter, Olivia helped plan their approach to Europa. The moon's research facility was heavily guarded, both from space and on the surface. We cannot simply land and walk in, Kalari pointed out during a planning session. No, Olivia agreed, but I can get us inside. My security clearance should still work if they haven't realized I'm helping you. And if they have? Asked one of the other Lumidians. Then we'll have to fight our way in, Olivia admitted. But that's a last resort. Nyara had been quiet during most of the planning. Now she spoke up. I sense my daughter's presence more strongly. She is there, beneath the ice. The Lumidians all nodded as if this was perfectly normal. Olivia was still getting used to their telepathic abilities. We'll need a small team, Olivia continued. Too many of us will attract attention. I will go, Nyara said immediately. Sovereign, it is too dangerous, Kalari protested. I did not come this far to wait on the ship while others rescue my child, Nyara said firmly. I will go. As will I, Kalari said with a sigh, knowing she couldn't change her queen's mind. We'll take one more for security, Olivia suggested. The rest of the crew should stay with the ship, ready to leave quickly once we have Lyra. They chose Malus, a Lumidian with special training in their quantum abilities, as their third team member. The plan was set. They would take a small shuttle to Europa's surface using Olivia's codes to bypass security. Then they would enter the research facility through a maintenance tunnel Olivia had found in the station schematics. As they prepared the shuttle, Olivia felt increasingly nervous. If the Alliance discovered her betrayal, she would face execution for treason. But every time she doubted her choice, she remembered the Project Starlight files and the pain in Nyara's voice when she spoke of her missing daughter. The night before their mission, Olivia couldn't sleep. She went to the observation deck and found Nyara already there, looking out at Jupiter's massive form growing larger as they approached. Can't sleep either, Olivia asked. I rarely sleep now, Nyara admitted. When I do, the dreams of Lyra are too painful. We'll find her, Olivia promised. Yes, Nyara agreed. But in what condition? They have held her for 10 cycles. What have they done to my child in that time? Olivia had no answer. She had been wondering the same thing. There's something I don't understand, she said after a moment. If you can sense Lyra, why haven't you found her before now? The humans have found ways to block our connection, Nyara explained. Only occasionally can I feel her presence. But as we get closer, the feeling grows stronger. She's alive, but changed. Changed how? I do not know, Nyara said softly. But I fear what I will find. The next morning, they prepared for the mission. Olivia put on her Alliance uniform, hoping it would help them move through the facility without raising alarms. The Lumidians wore special suits that would hide their natural glow. As they boarded the shuttle, Kalari pulled Olivia aside. If this is a trap, she whispered, know that I will kill you before I allow the Sovereign to be captured. It's not a trap, Olivia assured her. But if something goes wrong, protect Nyara. That's all I ask. The shuttle launched from the stellar lament, which remained hidden on the far side of one of Jupiter's smaller moons. As they approached Europa, Olivia sent the security codes she had prepared. Access granted, came the automated response. Welcome to Europa Research Station, Lieutenant Commander Daniels. Who is Daniels? Kalari asked suspiciously. An officer whose credentials I borrowed, Olivia explained. She's on leave for another week. With luck, no one will notice we're using her codes. They landed at a small, rarely used dock near the facility's power plant. As they prepared to disembark, Nyara put a hand on Olivia's shoulder. Whatever happens next, the Lumidian Queen said, know that you have done what is right. My people will remember your courage. Olivia nodded, unable to speak past the lump in her throat. She had come too far to turn back now. Together they stepped onto the frozen surface of Europa, ready to uncover the truth and find one lost child in the vast darkness beneath the ice. Europa's surface was a vast plain of ice crisscrossed with dark cracks and ridges. Above them, Jupiter filled half the sky, its swirling clouds and famous red spot clearly visible. The research facility looked small against this backdrop, just a collection of domes and towers poking up from the ice. The main entrance is heavily guarded, Olivia told the others as they huddled near their shuttle. But there's a maintenance shaft half a mile from here that leads directly to the lower levels. They moved carefully across the ice, their boots equipped with special grips to prevent slipping. The maintenance shaft was hidden inside a small equipment shed. Olivia used Lieutenant Commander Daniels' codes to open the locked door. So far, so good, she whispered as they slipped inside. The shaft was a narrow metal tube that descended straight down into the ice. A ladder ran along one side. One by one, they climbed down into the darkness. After what seemed like hours of climbing, they reached the bottom. Olivia checked her handheld device, which showed a map of the facility. We're on the lowest level, she said quietly. According to the schematics, the high-security research labs are this way. They moved through dimly lit service corridors, avoiding the main hallways where they might be seen. Twice they had to hide as facility workers passed by. The Lumidians' ability to dim their natural glow proved invaluable in the shadows. Finally, they reached a heavy security door marked Project Starlight, authorized personnel only. This is it, Olivia said. She placed Lieutenant Commander Daniels' security badge against the scanner. Nothing happened. It's not working, Kalari hissed. Your stolen codes have failed. Wait, Olivia said. She tried again, this time entering a series of numbers on the keypad next to the scanner. Sometimes high-security areas have separate access codes. The light on the scanner turned green. The door slid open with a soft hiss. How did you know that code? Malus asked suspiciously. It was in the Project Starlight files, Olivia explained. I memorized everything I could before we left the ship. They entered a large laboratory filled with strange equipment. The walls were lined with glass cases containing objects that glowed with the same purple-blue light as the Lumidians themselves. Artifacts from our worlds, Nyara said, her voice tight with anger. Stolen or taken from the bodies of our dead. Malus examined one of the machines. They are trying to replicate our quantum abilities, he said. These devices are crude copies of our technology. Kalari pointed to a door at the far end of the lab. There, I sense a Lumidian presence beyond that door. They crossed the lab quickly. This door had even heavier security than the first. Olivia tried Daniel's badge again, but the scanner flashed red. We need higher clearance, she said. We have no time for codes, Nyara said. She placed her hand against the door. Her skin began to glow brighter, and the crystal structures on her head pulsed with light. The door's electronic lock sparked and smoked. With a loud click, the door unlocked. Your abilities can affect our technology? Olivia asked, surprised. In limited ways, Nyara replied. She looked tired from the effort. It is not something we do often. It leaves traces that can be detected. Then we need to move quickly, Olivia said. Someone will notice that security breach. Beyond the door was a circular room with a large transparent chamber in the center. Inside the chamber, floating in a glowing blue liquid, was a small figure, Lyra, Nyara whispered, rushing forward. The child in the chamber looked like the hologram Nyara had shown Olivia, but also different. Her skin was paler, almost white rather than purple. Tubes and wires connected her body to machines that surrounded the chamber. Her eyes were closed, as if in deep sleep. Is she alive? Olivia asked softly. Yes, Nyara said, placing her hand against the glass. But they have done something to her. Her energy is being drained. Malus examined the machines connected to Lyra's chamber. They are harvesting her quantum energy, he said, his voice filled with horror. Using it to power their weapons research. How do we get her out? Kalari demanded. Malus studied the control panel. These systems are complex. If we disconnect her improperly, it could harm her. Let me see, Olivia said, joining him at the controls. I've worked with Alliance medical equipment before. This looks similar to a life support system. Together, they began the process of safely shutting down the machines and preparing to remove Lyra from the chamber. Nyara never left her daughter's side. Her hand pressed against the glass, her silver eyes fixed on the child's face. Suddenly, alarms began to blare throughout the facility. Red lights flashed in the corridors outside. Security breach detected in Section 7, announced a computerized voice. All personnel implement lockdown procedures immediately. They've discovered us, Kalari said, drawing her weapon. No, Olivia realized, checking a nearby monitor. It's not us. The stellar lament has been detected. Alliance ships are moving to intercept. We must hurry, Nyara urged. Olivia and Malus worked faster, disabling the final safety protocols on Lyra's chamber. The liquid inside began to drain away. As it did, Lyra's small body settled gently onto the bottom of the tank. The chamber will open in 30 seconds, Malus reported. But she will be weak. The humans have kept her sedated for a long time. I will carry her, Nyara said. The chamber opened with a hiss of escaping air. Nyara immediately reached inside and carefully removed the tubes and sensors attached to her daughter's body. Then she gathered the small child in her arms. My little star, she whispered, holding Lyra close. I've found you at last. Lyra's eyes remained closed, but her chest rose and fell with steady breaths. She was alive, if unconscious. We need to leave now, Olivia urged. They'll send security teams to check all restricted areas. They moved quickly back through the laboratory toward the service corridors. Olivia led the way, her Alliance uniform providing some cover if they were spotted. Nyara carried Lyra wrapped in her cloak, hiding the child from view. They had almost reached the maintenance shaft when a door ahead of them slid open. 6 armed Alliance security officers rushed in, weapons raised. Halt! Don't move! The lead officer shouted. Kalari and Malus immediately stepped in front of Nyara, shielding her and Lyra. Olivia found herself caught between her Lumidian allies and her former comrades. Lieutenant Mason? One of the Alliance officers said in surprise, recognizing her. What are you doing with these aliens? Olivia made her decision. She moved to stand beside Nyara and the others, facing the Alliance security team. The right thing, she answered, drawing her own weapon. These people came for what was stolen from them. A child. Their princess. Put down your weapon, Lieutenant, the officer ordered. That's an Alliance order. I don't take orders from kidnappers, Olivia replied. The situation was at a standoff. 6 Alliance officers against 4 intruders, one of whom was carrying an unconscious child. The odds were not in their favor. Suddenly, Lyra stirred in Nyara's arms. Her eyes opened, silver, just like her mother's. She looked confused at first, then focused on Nyara's face. Mother, she whispered, her voice weak from years of disuse. Yes, my little star, Nyara said, tears of joy streaming down her face. I'm here. Lyra's small hand reached up to touch her mother's cheek. As it did, her fingers began to glow with purple light. The glow spread up her arm and across her body. What's happening? Olivia asked, alarmed. Her abilities are waking, Malus explained in awe. After years of suppression, her natural powers are returning. The Alliance officers backed up a step, unsure what they were seeing. The purple glow grew brighter, surrounding not just Lyra but Niara as well. Then it expanded further, enveloping Kalari, Malus, and finally Olivia. "Hold your fire," the lead officer shouted to his team, who looked ready to shoot. The purple light pulsed once, blindingly bright. When it faded, all the electrical systems in the corridor had failed. The security officers stood frozen in place, paralyzed by some unseen force. "What did she do?" Olivia asked, stunned. "A quantum disruption," Malus explained. "She has disabled their technology and temporarily paralyzed their nervous systems. They will recover, but not for several minutes." "We must go," Kalari urged. "More will come." They rushed past the immobilized officers and reached the maintenance shaft. One by one, they climbed back up toward the surface, with Niara carrying Lyra on her back. The child was awake now, but still very weak. When they reached the surface, they could see Alliance ships in the sky above Europa, engaged in battle with the Stellar Lament. Despite being outgunned, the Lumidian vessel was holding its own, using its advanced defensive systems. "We'll never reach the ship with those Alliance cruisers in the way," Olivia said grimly. Niara looked down at Lyra, who was now sitting in the snow, watching the battle with wide silver eyes. "Perhaps we won't have to," the Queen said thoughtfully. "My daughter's abilities were always extraordinary. Now that she is free from their suppression drugs..." She knelt beside Lyra and spoke to her softly in their native language. The child nodded and closed her eyes in concentration. The air around them began to shimmer with purple light. The purple light around Lyra grew stronger. It spread outward in waves, rippling through the air like water. Olivia felt a strange tingling sensation on her skin. Above them, the Alliance ships attacking the Stellar Lament suddenly stopped firing. They drifted in space as if all their systems had shut down at once. "What did she do?" Olivia asked in amazement. "Quantum disruption on a massive scale," Malus explained, his voice filled with awe. "She has disabled all technology within her range. I have never seen such power even in adult Lumidians." Lyra slumped forward, exhausted by the effort. Niara caught her daughter and held her close. "This is why they took her," Niara said softly. "Her abilities are beyond anything our kind has seen in generations." "The ships won't stay disabled for long," Kalari warned. "We must reach the Stellar Lament before their systems restart." A beam of light shot down from the Lumidian ship, creating a glowing column that touched the ice near where they stood. "Transport beam," Malus explained to Olivia. "The ship is picking us up." One by one, they stepped into the light. Olivia hesitated, looking back at the research facility. All her life, she had served the Alliance. Now she was leaving it behind. But after what she had seen, the kidnapping of a child, the experiments, the lies that had started a war, she knew she couldn't go back. She stepped into the light. A moment later, she found herself aboard the Stellar Lament, surrounded by curious Lumidian crew members. Niara stood nearby, still holding Lyra in her arms. The child was awake but quiet, taking in her new surroundings with wide silver eyes. "Get us out of here," Niara ordered. "Maximum speed, random course changes to prevent tracking." The ship hummed as its engines powered up. Through a viewport, Olivia watched as Europa and Jupiter grew smaller behind them. The disabled Alliance ships were still drifting, unable to pursue. "Will they be able to follow us?" she asked Kalari. "Not immediately," the first officer replied. "The Princess's disruption affected their tracking systems as well. By the time they recover, we will be far from here." In the ship's medical bay, Niara gently placed Lyra on an examination bed. The ship's healers began checking the child, speaking in soft voices. Lyra watched them with cautious eyes but didn't seem afraid. "Is she okay?" Olivia asked. "Physically, she appears unharmed," one healer reported, "but they kept her sedated for many years. Her mental development may have been affected, and her quantum abilities have grown far beyond normal parameters." "Will she recover?" Niara asked, her voice tight with worry. "With time and care, yes," the healer assured her. "She is young and resilient." Lyra turned her head, looking directly at Olivia. The human felt a strange sensation, as if the child was looking into her mind. "She's curious about you," Niara explained. "She has never seen a human who helped rather than hurt." Olivia approached the bed slowly. "Hello, Lyra, my name is Olivia." Lyra studied her for a moment, then smiled. A small tentative smile that transformed her solemn face. "You helped my mother find me," the child said in perfect English, her voice soft but clear. "You speak our language?" Olivia asked, surprised. They spoke it around me, Lyra explained. I listened and learned even when they thought I was sleeping. Niara stroked her daughter's hair. Rest now, little star. You are safe. Lyra's eyes drifted closed. Within moments, she was asleep. A natural sleep this time, not drug-induced unconsciousness. Niara gestured for Olivia to follow her out of the medical bay. In the corridor, the queen turned to face her. I can never repay what you have done, Niara said. You risked everything to help us. I did what was right, Olivia replied simply. What happens now? Now we return to the collective, Niara said. I must show my people the truth about how this war began. With Lyra safe, there is hope for peace. Your people will believe you, Olivia said. But will they forgive humans for what was done to Lyra? That will depend partly on you, Niara told her. As the human who helped save her, your voice will carry weight. Will you speak for peace when we reach the collective? Before Olivia could answer, alarms sounded throughout the ship. Kalari's voice came over the communication system. Sovereign, we have detected a quantum signature pursuing us. It's an Alliance prototype ship, moving faster than should be possible. They rushed to the command center. On the main screen, they could see a sleek, dark vessel gaining on them rapidly. How is it moving so fast? Olivia wondered aloud. Look at its energy signature, Mila said, pointing to a readout. That's Lumidian quantum energy. They've weaponized what they harvested from Lyra. Niara's face hardened. They stole my child's energy to power their weapons. The ship rocked as the Alliance vessel fired on them. The Stellar Lament's shields held, but barely. We cannot outrun it, Kalari reported grimly. And our weapons cannot penetrate its defenses. Can we jump to light speed? Niara asked. The drive was damaged in the initial battle, a crew member replied. Repairs will take at least an hour. Olivia studied the tactical display. That's an X7 prototype. I recognize it from the Project Starlight files. Its commander will be Admiral Catherine Porter, said a voice from the communication system. The main screen shifted to show a stern-faced woman in an Alliance admiral's uniform. Staff Sergeant Mason, Porter said, her eyes finding Olivia among the Lumidians. You've disappointed me. Treason carries a death sentence. Kidnapping children and starting wars based on lies should carry one too, Olivia replied. Porter's expression didn't change. The Lumidian child is Alliance property. Her abilities will ensure human dominance for generations. One alien life for billions of human lives, a fair exchange. She has a name, Niara said, her voice cold as ice. And she is not property. Sovereign Niara, I presume, Porter said. Surrender your vessel and return the subject, or we will destroy your ship and everyone aboard it. You can try, Niara replied. She cut the communication. Can we fight? Olivia asked Kalari. Not and win, the first officer admitted. Their ship is powered by the same energy that flows through our veins. They have turned our own life force against us. The door to the command center slid open. Lyra stood there looking small but determined. Lyra, you should be resting, Niara said, moving to her daughter's side. I can feel it, the child said. They're using my energy to hurt us. She looked up at her mother. I can take it back. It would be dangerous, Malus warned. The amount of power required. I can do it, Lyra insisted. She looked at Olivia. The nice human helped you find me. Now I want to help. Niara knelt before her daughter. Are you sure, little star? Lyra nodded solemnly. What do you need? Niara asked. Just you, Lyra said, taking her mother's hand. Our connection makes me stronger. Mother and daughter moved to the center of the command deck. They stood facing each other, hands joined, foreheads touching. Slowly, they began to glow with purple light. First just a faint shimmer, then growing brighter until Olivia had to shield her eyes. The light expanded, filling the entire ship. Olivia felt that strange tingling sensation again, but stronger this time. Through the viewport, she could see the light extending outward into space, reaching toward the pursuing Alliance vessel. The X7 prototype ship suddenly stopped firing. It drifted to a halt in space, all its lights going dark. Then, impossibly, its hull began to come apart. Not violently, but gently, as if being disassembled piece by piece. She's reclaiming her energy, Malus explained in wonder. And in doing so, she's unmaking everything that energy was used to create. The Alliance ship continued to disintegrate, breaking down into smaller and smaller pieces until there was nothing left but floating particles. Somehow, Olivia knew that the crew had not been harmed. They would be drifting in space in their survival suits waiting for rescue. The purple light began to fade. As it did, Lyra collapsed into her mother's arms, exhausted but smiling. "I did it," she whispered. "I took back what was mine." "Yes, my brave girl," Nyara said, tears of pride in her eyes. "You did." 3 days later, the stellar lament arrived at the borders of Lumidian space. Repair crews had fixed the damage from the battles, and Lyra was growing stronger each day. The child spent hours with Olivia, curious about humans and their ways. "Will you stay with us?" Lyra asked as they sat together in the observation deck watching stars streak by. "I don't know," Olivia admitted. "I can't go back to the Alliance, that's for sure." "You could be my human friend," Lyra suggested. "I've never had a human friend before," Olivia smiled. "I'd like that." Nyara joined them, sitting beside her daughter. "We are approaching the Collective Council's meeting place," she told Olivia. "They have agreed to hear our story, and yours if you are willing to speak." "Of course," Olivia said. "They need to know the truth about how the war started. And how it can end," Nyara added. "The return of my daughter has opened a door to peace, but only if both sides are willing to walk through it. The Alliance won't be happy about what I have to say," Olivia warned. "Perhaps not," Nyara agreed, "but there are many humans like you. People of conscience who will listen to the truth when it is spoken. If enough of them hear our story, change becomes possible." The ship slowed as it approached a massive space station, a beautiful structure that looked like a giant crystal floating among the stars. Ships of various designs surrounded it, all bearing the markings of the Lumidian Collective.